What's good, everybody? We are back again with a very, very extra special episode, and I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. But very special episode of the No Hedging Podcast. I go by the name of Rip16, the GOAT.
And I am Ty, the Fly Jet. We're just coming off our little bye week. We had a little bye week.
Yeah, and we fresh off a bye week, and we are back.
We need one of those.
For an extra special.
We need it too.
We needed a bye week too. But we're coming back for an extra special episode this week. And if you've been rocking with us, shout out to the new subs. Then you know how we like to start the show around here. We like to start with a little bit of GOAT talk. So can I get a Stone Cold Steve Austin what?
What?
Okay. Just wanted to see if you was on that buzz.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, off of the bye week, the legend of the teaser finally came
to an end. To a
pause.
Okay.
Because it's never really over when you're dealing with a real GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Been up so long, thought I had insomnia. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
Might move Alaska to Atlanta because I'm just that cold.
Okay.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
That's a fact.
And those are just wise words from a real GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel because we got some hellified picks this week. That bye week, we feel rejuvenated. We feel refreshed. And we got some hellified picks. And one more special reason. You wanna announce it to the people or you want me to announce it?
Yeah, we're gonna change up the scenery. We changing up the ambiance, the aesthetic, the vibe. So we're gonna be shooting from a new location starting next week, and we hope you guys like it. More of a different type of vibe. You feel me?
And that means that this is the last episode in the spot that started it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Love this spot. Got a lot of compliments. Seeing a lot of growth in this spot. We appreciate y'all for growing with us.
Yeah.
So we just got to escalate that a little bit higher and keep going. So this is gonna be the last episode in the classic legendary spot. So we gotta make this motherfucker count.
Let's do it.
I need some dubs. I need some big dubs. I need some good talks. And I need some good info to give to the people, man. So like I said, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel. It's the holidays going on. We got a nice turkey day lineup. And we about to, dive into all that. But first, let's start with a classic segment. A little segment we like to call Takeaway.
Takeaways.
Now, even though it was a bye week for us, that don't mean we weren't watching no football.
Right.
All right. We will still watch some football. We were still abreast to what happened the week prior. Mm-hmm. We were still into all that. So what was your takeaways from the last week or so of football?
Well, the NFC West.
There was a lot happening in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Cardinals go down.
Yeah.
Rams go down.
Yeah.
Niners go down.
Bad.
And Seattle
goes up.
They go up.
They won 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, so that division is pretty much open. I believe it's open for everybody. Numerically speaking, I think everyone has an opportunity. And they're not too far off from one another to make something happen in that division. It's just a matter of who has the strongest finish in the next 6 weeks. You know what I mean? So
numerically speaking, yes, you are correct. Realistically speaking, I think 2 of those teams are probably cooked. Mm-hmm. Especially one of those teams. But I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to that in a minute. But, yeah, I mean, that NFC West team, they kind of... the whole division, we knew it was tight. And the Seahawks apparently knew it was tight. And they said, we about to go out here and win this thing. Because they've been playing well over the past couple weeks, came in with some key dubs. Mm-hmm. Very key dubs over key opponents. And I think...
Division dubs.
Yeah, and I think that puts them firmly in the driver's seat to go ahead and take the division. I mean, at this point.
Yeah, they there right now.
They there right now, and I don't see them getting dethroned for that spot. I'm
still watching the Cardinals because they've been competitive. They've been competing. This is a big game for them this weekend. They playing, Minnesota on the road. So I think they got to win this game, obviously, to kind of keep up with Seattle.
Yeah, but Seahawks got a much better matchup playing against a shitty Jets than the Arizona Cardinals playing against a not as dominant Minnesota Vikings, but still winning Minnesota Vikings.
True.
The Vikings, Jets, 2 catches. What is that? And the second one was in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, are the Vikings going to continue to play like that? Jets better not have 2 fucking catches this week. Better not. What my boy said, my boy B Teddy, he said Justin Jefferson, JJ, just jogging. He's out here just jogging. He said 2 catches in overtime, brother. What is you doing?
Absolutely nothing. Chilling.
So I mean, I don't think he has a whole bunch of those games. That's still Justin Jefferson. So I think the Cardinals have a tougher road to try to win that division than the Seahawks have, which is why I'm putting them in the driver's seat right now.
Okay, fair
just
enough.
Me personally.
But yeah, I mean, my takeaway is, it's a competitive division. I still think it's up for grabs. They all like 1 or 2 games from each other. It's just a matter of who's going to catch that hot streak and go. Right now, we see Seattle got the hot streak, but it's been
for sure. I mean,
everybody's kind of had their hot streak, during the season, except for the 49ers, which we'll talk about later on. But it just seems like this division is up for grabs.
2 teams 6-5, 2 teams 5-6. Yeah. So it ain't over by a long shot.
Yeah,
it's not over.
What's your takeaway?
I'm gonna switch it up. Let's talk about some fantasy football. How about that? What to talk about? This guy, we got a no hedging league. Told y'all about it at the beginning of the season. If you've been rocking with us, then you already knew that. But this guy during setup for the show today, he whispers, "Who's number 1 at fantasy?"
I am.
After he was crying like Terrell Owens, that's my quarterback. I lost 2 games. Mm-hmm. I'm cooked. I said, bro, you're not cooked. It's a lot more season. Look at you. You're number 1 now.
Started off the season 1-2.
This your first time being number 1?
In this year?
Yeah, this your first time being number 1?
Taking that spot. I fought hard for it.
Yeah.
Fought hard for it. Scratching and clawing.
The problem is your grand prize is you get to play me. And when you put me on that line, boy.
And see if that factors in.
I don't care how many points you got.
Wow.
First of all, we got the same record. You have a tiebreaker because you have more fantasy points.
Score. My team score points.
But when you put me on the line, boy.
Shout out to Lamar Jackson.
It was a lot of people who scored points. But when they got on the line with me, it didn't work out like that. You know why? Because it's something about going against a GOAT that just does something to him.
We'll see what happens after this week. Keep that talk going.
He gonna threaten me with a player that he got from me.
Mm-hmm.
Half your team came from me.
Bad management, like some teams I know.
Hey, but we got the same record.
Yeah.
So what that say about your management?
You was playing scrubs.
I beat you.
Yeah, early. I was a scrub early.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna see though. We're gonna see. He does have a nice lineup. I'm not gonna shit on this team because he does have a nice lineup. I just think I got them dogs.
Debo been playing like shit. Devontae Adams been playing like shit.
Justin Jefferson.
Those 2 players on my team, they've been a thorn in my ass.
Justin Jefferson and Kyron Williams are probably my 2 best players, and they haven't been having the greatest outings the past 3 weeks. So I mean, listen. It's fantasy, baby. But I brought up fantasy football because it's getting tight. It's getting right around that time for playoffs and getting right around that time when people start to cash out on some of these fantasy football bets coming up. This is week 13. Week 15 starts the playoffs. Or week 15 is the last regular season week. So 16 and 17 are your playoff weeks. So listen, fantasy football managers, if you got some plays on fantasy, if you doing like the weekly fantasy where you putting up some money and betting on that, Lank. Because I'm thinking about hopping in there for these last few weeks so I can try to milk all the bets that I can. So I just brought this up in takeaways because it's coming down to a close of the season, and folks need to see the fruits of their labor from fantasy. This has been a long season. Trying to see some dubs. So, Lank. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that's the main takeaways from really last week. It was a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff we kind of saw that happening.
Yeah.
Or it really wasn't that important for the grand scheme of things, because it's going to be what it's going to be for a lot of these teams. If you're out, you're out. And wins, losses, whatever, it didn't really matter. Your ass is still out. So I'm going to move to another wonderful segment that we have quickly becoming a fan favorite, and kind of an extension off of what you were just speaking on. Let's go clock out.
Yeah, you can go ahead and clock out.
Clock out.
Right now?
Go ahead and get up out of here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pop off the clock off.
Pop it off.
Pop off the clock off. 49ers. I know you 5-6. I know you're only one game behind in terms of numerical record. But clock out for me, big dog.
Why?
They jacked up. They beat the shit. They beat the shit. They need some rest. You got Trent out. You had Purdy out. You had Debo banged up. You had Kittle banged up. You had CMC coming off an injury. Your backup running back had got injured too. Listen.
Nick Bosa was out.
Nick Bosa was out. Jennings had got hurt and came back at one point. Listen, this ain't the season for them. This ain't the season.
Yeah, there's been a lot of inconsistent.
It's a lot of inconsistencies
with the lineup.
You know, lost some key division matchups. You're losing must-win games against the Packers. Because you need your quarterback. You need a healthy roster. You need team. Listen, it ain't happening. Bang bang Niner gang. I hate to be the one to tell you, but this ain't y'all year. Y'all not gonna redeem that Super Bowl against Pat Mahomes that's been so elusive. It's not happening this year.
So you don't think they can have a run towards the end of the season?
I don't even know if they can run down the street right now.
Damn.
I don't know if they can make a run to get in the playoffs, let alone win in the playoffs. The way that they've been playing. Granted, you do have, it's week 13. You got 5 more weeks.
Yeah.
You got some time for some of these guys to come alive. CMC is a hell of a player. Jawan Jennings can be a very good impact player.
Oh, I forgot Brandon Ayuk was injured, done for the season too. Yeah.
Oh, how did I forget? Your wide receiver, 1A or 1B, however you want to call him. He had a season-ending injury also. So
Dre
listen,
Greenlaw, he ain't been playing. He been out.
Listen, didn't Fred Warner miss a game or two?
Yeah.
Listen, this ain't it. Your team is out there getting beat to shit. They going down like they dropping like flies, and the Seahawks are just coming in with their broom and just sweeping up right after y'all drop y'all ass on the floor. It's not happening. The Seahawks or the Cardinals are probably going to be the winners of this division, barring some type of serious injuries that occur in these last 5 weeks. I don't see the 49ers recovering from this one. Not this time, player. Not around here, player.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to kind of agree with you because of the inconsistencies with the lineups, the injuries to all of the key players in that.
It's hard to get consistency. And this is the lightest clock out I've probably given all season because I think this one is really just off of health. Like, you got to clock, well, besides the 201, but you really got to clock out off of health. Like, y'all are not a healthy team this season.
And that offense, they could not move the ball. Those outside runs were not working. They were getting stuffed every single time. It was not.
And we
not
seen
good.
how the 49ers look when they didn't have a quarterback in the playoffs that season. Hell, they was beat so bad they put McCaffrey in at quarterback at one point in the playoffs game.
Yeah,
and we seen they got the hell beat out of them.
They did.
You need a quarterback. You need your players. to win games. I mean, who started? Who started?
Never heard of him.
Exactly. What's L? Yeah, that was an L. But yeah, that's my clock out, man. What you got for me?
I'm running it back again. This guy was already on clock out a few weeks ago. But I'm running it back.
Who you bringing back?
Joe Shane of the New York Football Giants, the general manager, GM.
Bro.
He has to go, bro. He has to go. He's been making the most boneheaded decisions ever since he's gotten there.
What did he do this time?
You extend Daniel Jones. You give Daniel Jones a contract after winning a playoff game. You pay him $40 million. That's mistake number one.
Yeah, we definitely agree.
Instead of franchising Daniel Jones and paying Saquon Barkley, you pay Daniel Jones because he win one playoff game, have a great playoff game on the road in Minnesota.
Okay.
But outside of that, he hasn't really done much, right? He's been injured as well. Now you get to this point this season, before the season, now you're telling Saquon, go test the market. Let's see what your value is.
Yeah, you showed me the video and I seen you shed a tear.
Let's see what your value is. Let's see if anybody in the market, let's see if any of the other 31 teams would be willing to pay you.
All 30 would.
Of course. And who is it? It's the Philadelphia Eagles in the same division. Now, this is a great fit for Saquon because he has a better offensive line. They have wide receivers, so the boxes aren't full, right?
I mean, it's clear.
A great fit for Saquon.
It's
Obviously,
clear.
we're saying that. So every single week, Saquon is having a phenomenal week, the best season of his career once he left the New York Giants. So not signing Saquon, that's mistake number 2. Mistake number 1, signing Daniel Jones. Mistake number 2, not signing Saquon. It was only a couple $1 million Saquon wanted, but you wanted him to go test the market. Okay.
Yeah.
Mistake number 3. A lot of people don't talk about this. But Xavier McKinney, he was our safety last year. Mm-hmm. Very good safety. Mm-hmm. Guess who's leading the league in interceptions? Xavier McKinney.
Is it? Okay.
7 interceptions on the season.
Okay.
7. Do you know the New York Giants haven't had an interception in 10 weeks?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay. So you didn't want to pay Xavier McKinney. Not to mention, that's mistake number 3. Mistake number 4, now shit gets a little shaky with Daniel Jones. He has a bad game, all this and that. Now you cut him, you release him.
Bad game. We've been having a bad season.
I understand that. But the game was just terrible. It was awful. That game in Germany, it was just awful. So after that, it was a primetime game, essentially, a standalone game. And everybody saw how really bad he was. So the media blew it up even more. It was already blown up, but the media blew it up. So forced them to make a decision. The decision it was based off of money. Let's go ahead and put Daniel Jones, 4th-string quarterback, because of this injury guarantee that we don't want to pay him. Daniel Jones says, you know what? I'm not doing this. They put him at safety in practice. Mm-hmm. He said, you know what? Can I just get off the team? Okay, great. We'll cut you.
Who the fuck decided to try to move Daniel Jones to safety? He ain't even fast.
Put Daniel Jones in safety in practice? Are you kidding me?
Daniel Jones ain't that damn fast. Now, they taking this Vanilla Vic shit too far.
So that's mistake number 4.
Daniel is not that fast. They're taking this too far.
Then you start Tommy DeVito.
Okay.
Who was the 3rd-string quarterback. You start him over Drew Lock, who is your 2nd-string backup quarterback that you brought in and paid to play. But you want to get a spark, right? So that's another mistake. So now you done cut Daniel Jones. He's on. He's gone. But not to mention, you really got rid of 3 leaders on the team in the locker room: Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, and Xavier McKinney. So now the team lacks leadership in the locker room. First of all,
Daniel Jones should have been gone a long time ago.
He should have been, but he obviously. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it, but he gives the team the best chance to win.
No,
because Drew Lock isn't good and Tommy DeVito isn't good.
Bro, let's cut this out. Let's cut this narrative out.
So out of the quarterbacks on our roster, Drew Lock is better than Daniel Jones. Tommy DeVito is better than Daniel Jones.
I'm gonna tell you how it's a key fuck up. I'll let you cook.
Joe Shane, it's time to clock out. You should have been gone. They fired the guy from the Jets last week. You should have been fired on Monday. You should have been fired on Monday.
I'm gonna let you cook because this is your team.
Time to go, Joe Shane. It's time to go.
It's your team.
Time to go.
I'll let you cook.
The locker room is lost. We lost the locker room.
Listen,
they don't believe in what's going on.
Forget all that.
He's tearing this team apart.
I'll let you cook because that's your team, and you bring it. This is your first bring it back clock out. So I know. I know you felt that in your spirit, and you had something to get off your chest. But let's just be honest. This team was cooked 2 years ago.
We know that.
They was cooked 2 years ago when they gave Daniel Jones the money. They should not have gave Daniel Jones the money. We know that. They should have let him test the market and paid Saquon. Now, some people argue.
Before that, they drafted him at 6 overall out of Duke. That was the problem.
Listen, okay. But listen, even more so of a fuck up, right? Someone brought it to my attention that was like, well, I don't know if I would have paid Saquon Barkley at the time a couple years ago either because he was injury prone. Why was he injury prone? He had no fucking blocking.
No offensive line.
It wasn't no line. And then here's the other flaw in that logic. Daniel Jones was also injury prone.
Because he didn't have an offensive line.
So the problem was the offensive line. Not because both of them are injury prone, because they didn't have no protection.
Right.
So, but you still paid Daniel Jones more money than you would have had to pay Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
And if you look at the records, when Saquon Barkley did not play versus when he played, they won more games.
They won more games when he played, yep.
So Saquon Barkley impacted winning directly. One player changed your trajectory to win games. So it was obvious that you should have gave Saquon Barkley the money to me than Daniel Jones. However, I'm not mad. I think he should have got rid of Daniel Jones. I think it should have been a trade so that you get some pieces back or something to try to get Daniel Jones, even though I'm not sure if they tried that and they couldn't really get anybody to take the contract. I'm not that deep inside.
No, they're not taking that contract.
But don't nobody want that contract.
But obviously they wanted the player because the Minnesota Vikings signed him a couple days later.
He's cool as a backup.
Yeah.
He's a serviceable backup quarterback, I think, me personally. However, I know he's not your guy as starter. When he had that fucking flea flicker play and he had 2 wide receivers open, I thought calling the flea flicker in that predicament, who was that versus the Panthers? I thought that was a shaky play call. I was like, I don't know if this is the right time for this play. But it worked, to Daboll's credit, because he got 2 wide receivers wide open. Did Daniel Jones throw it to neither one?
Nah.
Not at all. He was over there patting his weave.
But here's the thing.
Patting the ball like it's a weave.
Here's the thing.
And did not throw it. But my point is, though, I don't actually think Joe Shane releasing him was that bad because
for business, no. But for the locker room, it's a problem. They lost the locker room, bro.
The locker room been lost. You 2-9.
No. Did you hear what these players are saying?
You're not telling me you got morale after 2 wins?
No. Did you hear what the players are saying post interview? After they cut Daniel Jones?
You're 2-9.
It ain't about that.
You was 2-8 before you cut Daniel Jones.
Right.
What the fuck were they saying before you cut him? Nothing.
Daniel Jones gave the Giants, unfortunately it doesn't look like that. He gives the Giants the best chance to win football games over Drew Lock and over Tommy DeVito. That's the point. That's why the players.
You're talking about Joe Shane. You need to be thinking about Shane O'Mac.
No, that's the reason.
No chance.
That's
what
the
you
point.
got.
Nah, bro.
It didn't matter which one of them you put in.
Joe Shane is the problem. He made bad decisions.
I know you can't sign a lineman. You can't sign a lineman with that big ass contract. You can't get another quarterback with that big ass contract. If you never gave him that money, you could have got a free agent quarterback and did better than this shit.
Yeah, so he needs to go, right? He's the one who said, "Hey, Daniel Jones, here's $40 million." So Joe Shane needs to go.
We've been said he
gotta go.
2 weeks.
He gotta go.
We clocked him out like 3 weeks ago.
Joe Shane, once again, you've been on the segment twice, and the Giants, John Mara, Tish, family, y'all need to make a decision and make it happen. The trade deadline is over. There's nothing else that Joe Shane can do at this point. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. I believe Daniel Jones, this is my honest opinion. I believe Daniel Jones could have been a decent quarterback.
I don't.
I believe this, and this is why I believe it. I believe the fact that he's never had an offensive line, nor has he had consistent coaching over the course of his career. I believe that really ruined his confidence and kind of slowed down his progress to being a decent quarterback.
Listen.
Prime example, Sam Darnold got drafted by the Jets, right? The Jets are a terrible organization, just like the New York Giants. Sam Darnold.
The Giants have a Super Bowl.
Then the Jets.
Couple Super Bowls.
I understand that, but they're still a terrible organization. So here's the thing. Now he leaves the Jets, goes to the 49ers, goes to the Panthers, and now he goes to the Minnesota Vikings. A good organization with a good coach, good offensive line, good receivers, and look what Sam Darnold is doing. Now, you put Daniel Jones around something like that, then we have the same conversation. Daniel Jones been around.
He also got Justin Jefferson.
Year, all his career.
Sam Darnold also has Justin Jefferson.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
He has Jordan Addison.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
He has Aaron Jones.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
He has TJ Hawkinson.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
He has a defense. The Giants have
That's the point
Malik
I'm trying
Neighbors.
to make. That's the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is Daniel Jones had consistent quarterback, consistent coaching, consistent receivers,
with Saquon Barkley,
and consistent offensive line play. The offensive line been bad for a decade. They've been bad for a decade. This was the best year that the offensive line has been so far. So I think the reason that Daniel Jones has been playing so bad is because his confidence was shot due to the fact that he had a lack of offensive line play and also a revolving door of coaching. You put him in a system where it's consistent and a good offensive coach and good coaching, I think he'll be all right.
Danny boy.
But that's my point.
Danny boy.
But at the end of the day,
if you get another
Joe Shane,
opportunity,
it's time to clock out, man. I'm done.
Danny boy, if you get another opportunity to prove me wrong that you're a good quarterback, do it. I'd love to see it. However, I just don't think he was your guy, if I'm just being completely honest. And he's older now. He's took a lot of hits due to playing with the Giants. And he's no Saquon Barkley. I don't think he's about to pop out and show niggas.
Not this year. In a couple years. Watch. Sam Darnold did it. Geno Smith did it.
In a couple years, he's going to be like 30
something.
Ain't he?
Sam Darnold did it. Geno Smith did it. Baker Mayfield did it. Put these quarterbacks in a situation where it makes sense and they got a good system. You'll see what happens.
And I don't think he did. All right, man. Moving right along to another wonderful segment, a new but goodie segment. It's a segment we all know who's leading the league right now, but it's a little segment we like to call Besides the Chiefs.
We'll let Christian and the folks of Kansas City take us to kickoff.
So, besides the Chiefs, what are some teams that you got that are at this point going into Week 13? Who are your contenders and pretenders of the league?
I'm going to start with the Washington Commanders. Okay.
I think I know which side.
The Commanders, they had a hot start in the beginning of the season and was putting up a lot of points, scoring a lot of points. Jaden Daniels looking like the MVP, all these different things. Offensive Rookie of the Year, all these different things.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bo Nix, about to be Bo Nix for that.
Yeah.
But they dropped the last 3 games.
They did.
3 in a row.
They did.
2 division games. They dropped.
They did.
So
key games.
Big games. Right now they sitting on the edge. They sitting on the edge. Barely getting in.
Yeah. They a wild card. They still in a wild card spot.
They sitting on the edge.
Barely
in. If the playoffs started today, they'll be in there by a hair.
So I'm hearing you say they're contenders?
I'm saying they pretenders. Because you got teams like the Cardinals that I believe highly in. You got teams like the Buccaneers, which I will be talking about shortly.
Yeah,
that are on that ass. Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and take the Commanders off the contenders list and put them on the pretenders list, man. I don't think they're going to do anything. They may not even make the playoffs based on how the NFC is shaking off, especially in that lower tier trying to get in on the outside looking in. So the Washington Commanders, HTCC or HTTR, whatever you guys want to call yourselves, that Jaden Daniels train,
that's what they call it,
is coming to an end. Yeah.
Well, I think
say something about what was your little statement about Jaden Daniels?
The legend of
the legend of
Jaden Daniels continues.
Yeah, I ain't heard too much of that lately. So,
well, listen, I think it's this. I think we're kind of seeing the CJ Stroud effect a little bit, and I think that just comes in from I do think they're good. I think CJ Stroud is good. I think Jaden Daniels is good, but I think teams get more data on.
We got film.
We got film on you now. Mm-hmm. When you came in and you was good and we ain't never seen you, it was like, oh shit, we caught off guard. Mm-hmm. Now it's week 13. They got about 2 months worth of film on what you like to do. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit different. We know you like to throw to McLaurin. Okay, let's lock him up. We know you like to scramble to this side. Okay, let's send some pressure over that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We got data. And it's also didn't help that Brian Robinson has been in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
So has Eckler. He just got another concussion. He's getting a little too-ish. I'm not gonna lie. But
to their credit, they did lose against a good Steelers team, close.
Yeah, they did.
A good Philly team, and then they could have won against the Cowboys.
They should have won
against the Cowboys. To their credit,
that game was a fucking freak accident.
Doesn't matter who you play. If you want to be considered a contender, you need to beat those teams.
You got to beat good teams.
Yeah,
which is why the Rams aren't in the contention anymore.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. I just think it's just an effect of them having a lot more data on Jaden Daniels at this point. So of course the teams are a little bit more well prepared when they go into the game, and they're not shocked. And of course everybody has some type of flaw if you study deep enough. So I think that's just all it is. But I think they'll straighten it up and get it together. Now they are on the bubble, and they do got some teams on their ass, as you so eloquently stated. So we're gonna see how that shakes out. But I get why you say it.
Yeah.
So what about a contender though? What is a contender for you?
You're not gonna like this.
Why am I not gonna like it?
Because they're coming out of the NFC South. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They ain't winning the division.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. I think.
Oh yeah, we beat them twice.
They are with a healthy Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Obviously, they beat a terrible Giants team. Yeah. So I mean, how much credit can we give for that?
They haven't been able to beat a good team.
Yeah, but obviously without Mike Evans, that does play a role. So I think with Mike Evans coming back healthier, the way that Baker Mayfield plays, he plays with a we gotta win this mentality.
Hey man, they say if you don't like Baker Mayfield, you don't like football. That's what they say.
I agree.
Baker's tough.
He's a football player.
Yeah,
he's a football player.
Diving through the air, he's trying to truck people. He's chunking the ball downfield. He take off running.
Is always trying to get a first down.
Always trying to get a first down.
Throw the ball away.
In the red zone, always trying to get a touchdown.
I'm not throwing the ball away on third down.
That can be dangerous though.
I'm not throwing the ball away on third down.
That can be dangerous.
I'm running for it. 3rd and 7, I'm running.
Yeah.
3rd and 10, nobody's open, I'm running.
Well, I'm running.
We're going to do the best we can to maximize this play and get this first down.
Baker Mayfield rushing prop.
Yeah, so, I mean, my point is I think, the injuries obviously kind of hindered their success early on with the loss to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin early on. Mm-hmm. And then also, on their back end, they didn't have Antoine Winfield Jr. as well. So Antoine Winfield is back. They're playing a little bit better. They're getting a lot out of their rookie running back, Bucky Irvin. So they got that 1-2 combo with Bucky Irvin.
He's been playing wide receiver.
And Mike Evans is back. So I think, in that division, they're going to make it competitive, even though the Falcons beat them twice. But they have some more division games left. And based off of their schedule,
Falcons got one more division game.
They got some pretty winnable games. The Buccaneers, they got the Panthers this week. Winnable. A good one would be against the Chargers. That's a tough one. We'll see what they do.
Don't they got to play the Raiders?
Then you got the Cowboys, and you got the Panthers and the Saints. So you got 3 division games, and the Raiders.
Oh, they got the Raiders.
And the Raiders.
That's a winnable game.
So the next 2 games are winnable. One of which is a division game.
Right.
And then you got 3 more division games after that.
Right.
So, I mean, we can't count them out of winning the division if Atlanta.
Well, no. They don't have 3 more division games. They already played the Falcons twice.
No,
they played the Saints twice.
No, they played them once.
Oh, they played the Saints once?
Yeah, they played them
I thought they played them twice.
Yeah, they played them once. They got the Saints and
they're
the
not beating the
twice.
Falcons in the division.
Yeah, they got the Saints and the Panthers twice. So, I mean...
They ain't beating the Falcons in the division. Cut it out.
They're only, they're 1 game behind. As far as record goes...
As far as division wins, they're not beating the Falcons.
Yeah, but Atlanta needs to keep winning games.
Atlanta only got 1 more division game.
Okay.
We're 4-1.
But I guess the point is them getting in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they can possibly get in
wild
the playoffs.
card. Yeah,
they
sure.
can get a wild card.
They ain't winning that division.
Yeah, they can get a wild card.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No, I do like what Baker Mayfield is going on. I mean, he's exciting to watch. You know, I love his competitive spirit. Unfortunately for him, he already lost to the Falcons twice, and even more unfortunately, the Falcons are 4-1 in the division. And our last game is against the Panthers. He's not winning the division. Not around here, player.
Okay.
But you can get a wild card spot for your tenacity.
Yeah.
And you could overcome the Washington Commanders at this point in the season. So I'm definitely on the lookout for them, and I do think they're a dangerous team with a healthy Mike Evans and with the emergence of Bucky Irvin as basically playing another wide receiver.
There we go.
So yeah,
we're gonna put them on watch.
Get behind. Yeah,
they're on the watch list.
They're in
the watch
contention.
list. Yeah.
I think I can understand them as being a contention.
They got winnable games coming up and a couple division games. So yeah,
I ain't mad at it. But man, you know we've been talking about all this stuff that already happened and all that.
Woo.
What about this stuff that's coming up? You know what I'm saying? Because we got a whole fresh week of football coming up, and if we dive into week 13. It's Turkey Day games. It's a Black Friday game. It's Sunday games. Then we still got Monday Night Football. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of football. But what exactly is your must-see TV for the people?
My first must-see TV game is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens.
Like that.
Potential Super Bowl matchup. Potentially because it's an AFC and NFC team. But these are 2 physical football teams, especially in the trenches. They both like to run the football.
Yeah.
You got your top 2 rushers in the league, Saquon Barkley on one side, Derrick Henry on the other side.
We do know what
Lamar Jackson on the other side, Jalen Hurts on the other side.
We do know Lamar Jackson's record against.
It's like 23-1 or 23-2 or something crazy like that. He loves to beat the NFC teams.
Yes, he does.
So
they're a 3-point favorite in this game. Baltimore
3-point favorite, and they are at home.
Might have to take it. But yeah, I do think it'll be an exciting game, especially the monkey wrench in there, the X factor, if you will. Saquon Barkley is going fucking bonkers. So this is also a nice head-to-head matchup from your 2 top running backs in the league. You have Saquon Barkley, and you have Mr. Henry,
Henry,
as he's called. They call him Mr. Henry in a lot of cities. That's an exciting running back matchup. Both of them have been going fucking insane with their new teams. So I do think it's must-see TV just because this is a highly entertaining game. And I think the run game is going to be crazy. Philly, they got a chance at disrupting Lamar's record because that defense, again.
They got a chance. The defense is coming alive. Vic Fangio, he's doing his thing with these Georgia Bulldogs. Nakobe Dean is a force on the field, hunting players down on the offense. You got your interior
Vic gonna pull
line.
that cell phone out.
Your interior line is going crazy. So all them Georgia Bulldogs, they on that field and they playing ball. And then you got Quinyon Mitchell on one side playing the corner. So they got a nice team. Oh, and Cooper DeJean playing the slot corner. So you got a solid team. It's gonna be a good matchup here. They can really disrupt what the Ravens do. The main thing is Lamar Jackson, man. And the one thing that I do like about both of these quarterbacks is they both been protecting the football very well all season. Lamar Jackson only thrown like 3 interceptions all year.
Yeah.
opposed to previous years. So I'm gonna lean more so on the Ravens side, being that Lamar going crazy against NFC teams, and he's at home. Big games like this, he typically wins those. So I'm gonna lean Baltimore.
I'm a little lenient with the purple.
I'm leaning Baltimore,
but I'm not counting Philly out of this because that Baltimore defense, I don't like it.
Well, they've improved. They've improved over the last couple of weeks.
The Chargers was still on their ass for a minute.
Maybe they improved last week because the Chargers don't have any other receivers besides Lad McConkey.
They don't have receivers, bro. Yeah, I've been saying that's the Chargers' problem.
Yeah.
give Herbert a real receiver, is gonna be ugly.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
I'm gonna go Los Angeles Chargers versus Atlanta Falcons, probably because I'm biased.
Yeah, it's not probably.
But also because this game means a lot, right? As you say, the Buccaneers are on the Falcons' ass. I don't know how, but record-wise, yes, they are on their ass.
Mm-hmm.
And the Falcons dropped some games. Like, they needed some dubs.
That fire is sizzled out.
That fire is not firing right now. But the Chargers have lost some games recently as well. Some close games, and they won a couple too. So, I mean, both teams, the Chargers are fighting for a wild card spot. We know they ain't passing the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So, they fighting for a wild card spot. The Falcons are more so banking on we going to win the division. But I think you do need to rack up some W's because you can't just keep on fucking losing, and then think you're going to get to the playoffs and start winning.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Because
you need
then
to get your shit together.
Then you get those other scenarios. If this team loses or wins or ties, if this team wins or loses or ties.
And then you get into home field advantages and all that, and the Buccaneers firing off the way they firing off, you might not want to see them in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a big game. It's a lot of implications. It's an important game. Plus, these teams are very evenly matched. The Chargers don't have great wide receiving core, but Ladd is coming alive. I like what Herbert does with Ladd. Herbert has emerged as a rushing quarterback. Don't know when the fuck he started doing that, but hey, he's a rushing quarterback now. The Falcons' defense and their secondary has been a little suspect because they like to keep the ball in front of them so much. I hate the fucking scheme. Chargers' defense been playing really well, but the Falcons' offense is definitely the strong suit. It's a lot of what ifs in this game, and I think that just makes it more interest. I'm not picking a side. You won't make me pick a side in this game. Both of these are my teams. I'm not picking. Probably fading this game on my bets. Not betting on it either. But I am going to try to be in attendance. Probably wearing all black.
I'm going to tell you this. I believe the Chargers win this football game.
They're the favorite. They're a 2-point favorite in this game.
I believe they win this football game.
Their defense has been playing well. Herbert has been playing well.
Very well. They just got ran through by the Baltimore Ravens and Derrick Henry. I think Harbaugh tightens that up this week.
Harbaugh was playing against his brother, and his brother know him.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're still running the football. They do pretty good job of stopping the run, but to give up 200+ yards rushing the football to the Ravens, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if the Falcons are smart, they take a page out of Ravens' book and dial up a lot for Bijan and Tyler Algier.
Khalil Mack 2 sacks.
I can believe that.
Yeah, Khalil Mack 2 sacks.
That's not crazy.
Yeah, Derwin James 1 sack.
I don't think DJ gonna get a sack. He might get a pick though.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm leaning the Chargers, man. I think they're gonna get more physical in the trenches. It's all about the trenches.
Bad bet.
It's all about the trenches.
It's definitely not a bad bet.
And then
and I like the Chargers defense.
Yeah, they're a young defense, but they play well together. And if you're gonna leave the game up to Young Ho Koo.
Can't lead a game up to kickers.
That's not a good bet.
I do feel like anybody who's talking fantasy, you got a potential field goal situation here because the Falcons' red zone defense can be okay at times, but I don't know. The running back situation is a little weird with the Chargers because sometimes they'll go all JK and act like Gus doesn't exist until they get like to the 1 yard line and then hand them the ball a lot.
Well, JK is the more explosive back. Gus Edwards is that
but he got a little banged up last game.
Yeah.
So that's another factor.
Yeah.
JK got banged up against the Ravens. He got beat up a little bit.
Yeah, and then Falcons coming off a bye.
They're coming off a bye week, getting
so
healthier.
They had 2 weeks to prepare.
They had some time to recover. They had a little time to prepare. So you never know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game to watch.
Yeah.
Last one. What you got?
Yeah, so we got a Thanksgiving slate, Turkey Day slate.
Turkey Day, 3 games.
3 games. The first 2 games, I don't think anybody wants to watch those unless you're
Bears-Lions.
Unless you're fans of those teams.
I mean, the Bears-Lions, Lions always going to play on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they always going to play on Thanksgiving. If you want to see the Lions eating turkey legs at the end of the game.
Eating turducken.
Sure. Yeah, turducken, for sure. Giants-Cowboys, who wants to watch that? By that point,
I'm fading that game from bets, too.
By that time, everybody going to be asleep on their second plate.
They going to have the itis.
And people going to be playing spades and not paying attention.
When you wake up.
But the primetime game, 8 p.m., Miami, Green Bay. Now, that's a game that should be watched because now you got a hot Green Bay Packers team. They're at home. But then you have this Miami Dolphins team that needs to prove that they can win on the road.
First of all, Miami won a couple games back-to-back, didn't they?
They did. They've been quietly doing it. But they need to prove that they can win on the road in a cold weather team, in a cold weather city, against a team like Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. They on quiet is kept. The Dolphins are on the Chargers and Broncos' ass.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the 8th spot. Chargers 6, Broncos 7. So this game means something to me. Like, that's what Dolphins are saying to themselves. So Turkey Day, I can agree with you. I think this is a good TNF game for the Dolphins, and the Packers has a lot of implications. The Packers have not been playing sensational, but they've been pulling out wins.
They've been winning.
So
maybe that win against the 49ers took a lot out of them. Who knows? Because Josh Jacobs went crazy. He had 3 tutties.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs had himself a day.
So, will they do that again? Will they run that back again against the Dolphins? Miami's explosive.
I feel like
who knows?
The run defense is pretty decent with Miami, though. But we'll see.
It's gonna be up to 2 at this point because that's the storyline. Yeah, that's the storyline.
Okay, I can get down with those games. We got Philly, Baltimore, Chargers, Atlanta, Miami, Green Bay. Nice must-see TV lineup.
Yes, sir.
But beyond just watching the game, of course people like to bet on the game. So
sprinkle a little skin on it.
So what are your best bets for the people, man? We gotta let these folks know something to bet on.
Yeah, best bets, man. So
okay, so we took a bye week, but that didn't mean we didn't bet.
Yeah.
We went 2-1 on our bets.
Yeah.
That we both had. Both of us went 2-1. Who was the one that messed it up for you? Pittsburgh. They lost to the Browns because you had them covering the 3.5, and they lost to the Browns. I had Houston. Houston lost.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was that?
Yep.
But yes, Houston lost to Tennessee.
Just 2-1 every time, every time. But this week we're gonna bounce back, recover. We're gonna here we go again.
Here we go.
Try to do 3 in a row. I'm taking Baltimore -3. They playing Philadelphia, big time game. Lamar Jackson versus NFC teams. I'm gonna keep that energy going. They're at home as well,
this
so
is a tough one,
I'm taking Baltimore -3. Next one, I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams versus the New Orleans Saints. Okay.
You not done with the Rams yet?
I'm not done with the Rams. I think they're a better team than the New Orleans Saints. I think they have better talent. I think they're young on the defense, and that defense has some bright spots.
As much as I hate the Aints, they do look rejuvenated with the interim coach coming in, and he's actually utilizing the personnel in a smarter way than Dennis was doing.
There's an MVS sighting. But I think the Rams are a better team, especially coming off the loss against Philadelphia. I think they put it together, and I think the main reason they lost against Philly because they got dominated in the trenches on both offensive side, on the offensive line and on the defensive line. I don't think the Saints are going to bring that kind of domination, to the Rams. So give me the Rams.
We didn't think that the last 2 times they won either.
But who did they play? They ain't played nobody for real.
They ain't playing nobody today.
You know what I mean? The Rams, you got a better quarterback. You got better options. You got a better wide receivers.
Who the hell are the Rams at number 10? And 5 and 6. You playing against a losing team.
Yeah. So give me the Rams -2.5. I'll take them less than a field goal. And my last one, I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals +3.5 on the road at Minnesota. I think it's going to be a good, close game. Kyler Murray, he didn't play very well last game, but I think that's the problem with the Cardinals. They're a little inconsistent. I think they need to start getting.
I do like this +3.5.
I think they need to get more physical with the football, run the ball with James Conner a little bit more, and then let Kyler Murray kind of open things up later on. But
Minnesota hadn't been playing that great. They've been squeaking out some wins, but they haven't been playing that great. They haven't been dominating anybody.
No, they can get.
So I do like them +3.5. I might have to rock with that one myself.
Baltimore -3, Rams -2.5, Cardinals +3.5. Those are my best
like
bets.
That Cards bet. My best bets are. I'm gonna go a little bit unconventional, but not that unconventional. I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders +13. As a Falcons fan, listen, I'm not afraid of somebody playing against Desmond Ridder. I'm not convinced that the Raiders are about to make some type of miraculous move or anything. However, they do like to be on the Chiefs' ass, though. Mm-hmm. One thing about them, they beat the Chiefs last season. Mm-hmm. It's a division opponent. They like to stay on them. And furthermore, who have the Chiefs blown out this season?
Nobody.
You just had a close game with the Panthers, brother. You squeaked out barely. I actually was scared, I think. I was like, damn, are the Panthers about to beat the Chiefs? For a minute. But
it's more so about the defense letting Bryce Young do what he did to him. Put in a 30-something points.
That's what I'm saying. So, for that reason, I don't like +13 in the division game. On Black Friday, it's a weird day, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it might be the Raiders' day to at least cover the spread, not lose by 2 touchdowns. I don't see it.
Right.
Next game I'm going to take. I'm going to go Houston Texans -4 over the Jags. They let me down.
On Houston.
Double down. This is like 6-8 for me. If we talking craps,
get off of them.
I'm gonna stay on this 6-8. I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans versus Jacksonville Jaguars just because I don't believe in Mac Jones. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
As long as Mac Jones is your quarterback for the Jaguars.
Yeah, I was on the Jags on this, and I forgot Mac Jones was starting.
And then you changed your mind. You changed your mind abruptly because you know about McEnroe Jones. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take Houston -4 for that reason, even though they have dropped some games and they have looked a little shitty. I think this is the time. D'Amico is a good coach. I think this is a good game to bounce back, turn around. It's a division game. It's important. You just dropped the ball against the Tennessee Titans. And you telling me you going to turn around and lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Can't do it.
You can't do that.
Can't do it.
Can't do that. No. Last one I'm going to take is the Buffalo Bills -7. Now, I was originally thinking I didn't love this game, but then I was like, you know what? San Francisco's been playing pretty shit. And I just clocked them out. And if y'all saying I'm wrong, prove me wrong. But I think they clocked out. And I think Buffalo is about to clock them across their head and eat some turducken. So give me Josh Allen and those guys -7, man. So I have Las Vegas too. Off a bye week.
Yeah.
That don't smell good for this Thanksgiving. That don't smell good for the 49ers. So give me Las Vegas Raiders +13, Houston -4, and Buffalo Bills -7. Those are my 3 best bets.
All right.
But there's more. These folks still got to know, man. Did you where Fifi at?
Can't find him. Gone.
Well, we're going to try and find the dog. We still got our help wanted signs up. But these folks need to know, what is your dog of the week.
I'm tired of getting my ass kicked by these underdogs who are not covering or not winning games. Well, they covering, they're not winning games. This week I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. Turkey Day, primetime game.
Okay. MustSeeTV.
MustSeeTV. Tua's going to turn the page. He's going to turn the page. They're going to win on the road in a little cold weather. Okay?
In a little cold weather.
Because they need it. And then partly because the Green Bay Packers, they just had a pretty tough, not tough game, but it was a game against the 49ers. You know, it was an emotional game, I should say. They played
emotional, damn.
They utilized a lot of energy in that game. So I'm taking the Miami Dolphins. Fins up, underdog. Let's go.
All right, I'm not mad at it. For my underdog, I'm gonna go with a team that just lost a division game, and they got to turn around and play another division game. I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are the underdog against the Bengals. Listen, I clocked the Bengals out a couple weeks ago. I told y'all the Bengals are cooked. No. The defense is still bad. The Steelers' defense is still good. Jamar Chase is still going to have a day. But the problem is the defense is going to turn around and give away the points that Jamar Chase just got.
Why did they lose against the Browns?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
Because J-Bo prayed for this.
He did.
With the horsemen.
He did.
And you're not a real Brown until you win.
He did.
So J-Bo wins. And Nick Chubb had a good game, quite as kept. Nick Chubb did have a good game. He had a good rushing attack. To their credit, they called the right plays at the right time. Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy, yeah.
Jerry Jeudy was over there cooking.
You know, that's what Jamar gonna do.
Jamar gonna cook.
Yeah.
He gonna cook. The problem is that defense can't stop nobody. It's not Jamar Chase. It's not Joe Burrow. They look good. It's not them. It's the defense. And I think Russell Wilson does enough to beat them. And I think the Steelers do enough defense to stop them in situational football because they have Mike Tomlin and they have a smart coach and they're going to handle their business. So I like it. I'm off the Bengals this season. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Give me the Steelers in the upset. It's not even really an upset, but they're a 3-point dog. So I'm going to roll with them. But that's all we got.
Gave y'all a hand.
Looking around at the set, we gave it all we had. But make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned. Y'all are going to love the new set that we have. Y'all going to love this new rejuvenated energy. We got a bar in there. I might be able to have a little cocktail during the show. It's going to be even more entertaining. So make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all hit those links in the description. Props made easy. We still at it. I actually had a couple basketball props that came through from Props Made Easy last night, so I'm happy about that. Restored my faith. So make sure y'all hit those links. And as we like to say around here, parlays, making money line plays. May all these bets continue to pay, and may the legend of the teaser continue today.
Until next time, peace.